Actually, right now I incorporate a business. Last time I talked with you and I told you that I'm running a two institution here. One of them I incorporate very earlier named Ideal School for Entrepreneurial Development. And my vision is to empower the youth of India as well as the world. And there I need experts help. And I want that the people, those who are experienced, they join us and they do work with us. And for me, the experience is everything. And you see, if you would like to just guide the people of today, then for that sake, we have to understand where we are today and where we want to go. So, can you please tell me something about yourself again?
Okay, great. Uh, well, I have a degree in business administration from the University of Maryland. I graduated in 1982. After that, I uh, got into business with Encyclopedia Britannica in Japan. And I worked in Japan for uh, 16 years as a civilian. And 1993, I returned to the U.S. and continued to work with Britannica, and then that's after that I started my business uh, dealings with different ventures that I started in mobile home sales, manufactured housing, different things. Just my entrepreneurial uh, spirit taking over, and I started a immigration visa processing company helping people to come to the U.S. On visas, whether they were for marriage or fiance or spouse visas, family visas of that nature. And uh, I have worked for several companies as a trainer. And while I was in Japan, I was a teacher, uh, a tutor, I should say, of Japanese students there for a couple of years. And it's something that I enjoyed. And now that I'm here in the Philippines, I've been here for 6 years now, and I resigned from a call center job that I had about a year ago, so that I could stay at home with my newborn child. I have a son that's just a 1 year old now, and at this time I thought, well, it's time for me to do something that I can get some reward from, personal reward, satisfaction, so to speak, and something that I can do from my home. So I started searching online to find something, and that's how I came across you.
Okay, next thing I want to know that as you leave the US and after that you were lived in Japan and then now you are in Philippines.
Yes.
Can you please tell me that why you not stay in US and why you left Japan?
Oh, yes. Well, the reason I left Japan is because uh, the uh, the company I was working for, Encyclopedia Britannica, they sold out their international sales to a company in Switzerland, and
Okay.
so they closed down their overseas operations. And that was about the same time that they started putting encyclopedias on uh, CDs, or so you could do your
Okay.
research on the computer. And they're
Yes.
actually the internet wasn't established yet, so you couldn't do a Wikipedia at that time. Now you can get any information you want on the internet, but at that time you still could purchase a CD to put inside your computer and then look up the information that way. So I went back to the U.S. and started working for their domestic operations. And then, of course, as I said, the encyclopedias, the hardbound copies kind of went out the door as uh, electronic media, took over. So that's the reason why I came back to the U.S. is because I wanted to continue working for the company, but it was no longer available to work there overseas. And the reason why I came here to the Philippines is after I established my immigration visa processing company, I found that most of my clients were from the Philippines, or the spouse of the U.S. citizen that wanted to come to the U.S. Where most of them, probably
Yes.
90%, were from the Philippines. And in that process, I came to the Philippines to do some work and meet some clients in person, and then I met somebody of the fairer
Here I
sex.
want, okay, sorry for interrupt you. Here I want to know one more thing, that what kind of work you do in the visa process? How you provide the visa?
What we do is we would file all of the documents that were required
Okay.
for the visa. So I would get the information and then complete the forms properly and correctly, and then submit those to immigration, and then also provide a guarantee that the petition would be approved and forwarded to the embassy of the country that the petitioner was coming from, and we would provide them also with the questions and answers that most likely they would be asked at their interviews, so to give them more confidence in their interview and so they could attain their visa.
Okay. Next question I want to ask, that what do you think that how tough it is to make someone entrepreneurs, or do you think that is it possible to create more entrepreneurs in a society where the people have their degree scientific thought, because it's a need of today. If we are talking about the whole world, that near about 70% people are entrepreneurs through all around the world, and they are just doing a great job. So I want to say, because of the market like India, where we find that the people are going for the job. So I want to know these questions to you. That is, how possible it is to create entrepreneurs among the students. Can you please tell me what's your ideas to create entrepreneurs?
I think that instilling confidence in the student would would be a key part of creating an entrepreneur, so that they have the confidence that they can do it. I would imagine that people that do not have the innate uh, ability or that innate confidence of or the entrepreneurial spirit, they would need they would need to have some positive experience or a positive speaker, someone that could instill into them uh, confidence that they could indeed do it and show them how it can be done, a step-by-step process. I think that is a good method to follow. But I don't
Okay.
have experience
Basic.
in creating entrepreneurs, so I can only that's what I surmise.
Yeah, okay, okay, no issue with that. So, what thing you would like to teach through online, if you are providing an opportunity to teach with our organizations? Then what would you prefer to teach to the students? What do you prefer to train the students, that we can introduce you among the students and they are joining your classes?
What do I want to teach? Is that the question?
Yeah, what you want to train them? Actually, when you are taking online classes, that there is a need of promotions, and in promotion, it's important to introduce what we are going to give. So, can you please tell me that what thing you would like to provide to the students, or on what basis you want to take your class through online?
Yeah, I think to instill the spirit. I'm not sure. There's a little breakdown in the signal here, but uh, so I think that I would like to do is instill the spirit to give the confidence to teach someone. I've been a trainer for many years with different companies, and I always enjoy the fulfillment of seeing when you're reaching that connection. You're making that connection with the student where they actually see what's going on, and then you can show them or you can give them an example, and they realize that, and then they can go out and do that on their own. But uh, I think it would be like starting off with something small, giving a small example, something that they can actually see and taste and feel is is what would get them going and giving them confidence.
Can you share your some experience in the classroom? Means if you're providing the trainer to the people, can you share your some experience that if you are training the students or training the corporate people, then what kind of change you made in them?
Yeah, I
Can you
can.
share any experience? Yeah.
Oh, can I share? Oh, absolutely. For example, when I trained people in the past, I simply explained to them how it was done, how I did it, and how it was for me, and then I showed by example. Uh, you can do it. Come with me. I will show you. And then as they saw how I did what I was teaching them, then I just built the confidence in them, and they could see that what it appeared to them it looked like it's so easy. Oh, it's so easy. You're expert at it. You're so easy. I said, you can do it too. All you have to do is just do this. Apply these steps, step by step. Just do this and do that and do that, and practice and become more confident in what you're doing, and then you would be able to do that also. And then I have seen uh, many of my students. They become very successful, and then they always come back to me and they say, "I owe it to you. I owe it to you because you're the one that taught me this." But in the actuality, I know that they don't owe it to anyone but themselves. They're the ones that created that on their own.
Okay. Uh, One more question I would like to ask to you, that is, if our company call you for one day or in middle of a month for a day to come here to visit here for 1 to 2 days to just teach as a guest faculty over here, and by another time you just take your online classes. So are you capable to visit here in India for once and twice in a month or 2 months?
Yeah, of course, that would be great.
All right. And last thing to you is that for initiating any business, when we incorporate any business, any new business, according to you, just ideal school for entrepreneur development, what we have made and the organization, what we are running, that is the new organizations, and we are looking for doing the best for the people. So according to you, what all the things are most important when we introduce ourselves in the market? First question. And second thing is that how we'll make ourselves at greater place in very shorter time of periods.
Okay, how will we introduce ourselves into a new
Yeah.
market?
Yeah.
And the second question is what? I'm sorry, I didn't catch the second question.
Second question is that the first question, as I told, as I asked you, that is, if we are going to initiate any business, any new business we are initiating, okay, so what kind of promotion we need to make? And the second question is that how we make our organization at the top level in short time of periods.
Oh, that's a good question. The second question is the way to introduce yourself in the new market is to find a need for the product that you're wanting to introduce. You find a need, and then you find, of course, that's the whole idea of marketing. You find the market for it. So you have to find the customers or the students or the people that are seeking an answer, uh, or they they have that need for that product. So uh, I don't know exactly what product. I know that you're selling entrepreneurship. So in in India, I can imagine that there are many people that need to get ahead, but I don't know what echelon of society that you're marketing your product to. I don't know if it's like a microfinance or if it's a big business uh, situation, but it's essentially you're finding a need, you're finding a niche, you're finding people that uh, will be receptive to something that is logical and understandable to them. So if you can explain it to them in a way that they can understand and it sounds reasonable and logical to them and they can see how they can benefit from it, then they will be interested in that product and they can follow through. Uh, Having said that, I think that is also the foundation for growing your company the fastest way possible is when people see that it's logical and how successful it can be, then perhaps a word of mouth type situation is one of the best marketable aspects. If there are other people that have the same needs that they're aware of, or that the person that has the need is introduced to another person, so it more like a network, a circle of influence might be the fastest way to market it.
Okay, that's right. That's right. I agree with you. And all right, Lester, here at evening, I'll just send you the mail, or tomorrow I'll send you the mail and I'll just tell you the feedback. One more thing, if you can just elaborate, that is about if you can make it and send to me, that is what are the major specialization of yours, which we can just promote in the market. If you can just write it and send to me, is more better. And one last thing I want to say, that as a I want to say, I want to just give you some information about my company. We have incorporated as a new company, and we would like to achieve the height of success at very great way. And I want to say to you that I need upward people, those who are energetic, those who can contribute their best, and dedication, determinations, and directions. These three things are very important when we are just leading our company. I want to do the work of billions of rupees in a in Indian currency, billions of rupees. I want to just do the work in a duration of 1 year, and I want to connect the whole world with our company. And I believe that in whole world there is a one commonality that is a very common thing you will find. That is everybody wants success. That doesn't matter that different market success has its different scope, but the people are looking for the success, and I believe to accept the thing, accept the situation, and create the things as per the need of the situations. So I want the people, those who can just come together, work together, not for themselves, for the company also, and my dream becomes your dream. And if you can do that, then I think that we can do a lot better work, because when we think to each other, we can create the best venture towards the future. So, all right, Lester, it's nice to talk with you. And at evening or tomorrow morning, I'll just call you and I'll just give you the feedback. Let me send the videos, and after that, we'll discuss more about that. Thank you for giving me your valuable time.
Okay,
Thank
sir,
you.
Prab. Thank you, sir. Have a good day. Bye-bye.